Season 53, War number 10. Today we've matched up against Furious Gods, and the bands are Ironheart, Lady Deathstrike, Luke Cage, Spider-Man 2099, and Professor X. And my team today is yet another classic, Mr. Negative, Photon, and America Chavez. I'm sorry this is getting so old now, but I promise you War 11 is a very different team, so you can look forward to that one at least. But the thing we're going to talk about in this war specifically is 60 FPS, because I haven't really talked about it at all. And I decided I was going to play my first Alliance War with 60 frames per second on this war, War 10, and I was still kind of getting used to it now, because I think it did take a little bit of adjusting, and I kind of wish I didn't use it this early, and I got more practice in first, but we'll get to that. I am doing full Path 8 today, and my first fight's going to be this White Tiger on Node 8. Going into this, I thought this was going to be just a super easy fight. Turns out White Tiger on some nodes is actually terrifying, and I learned that the hard way, because I'm doing the correct thing. I'm not knocking her down because I don't want her to get that cruelty, because then she's just going to be critting through my block, and she just has a billion attack rating. So I'm not knocking down until I have to. And here, apparently the AI can intercept you when you both dash in, instead of the other way around like it's supposed to be in 60 frames per second, because I swear this only has been happening to me when I changed it, and not just in War 2. Like, this happen to me in BGs a couple times. I could have died there. She only threw 2 hits. If she threw 3, I think I might have lost my Deathless Season on that. That was the most terrifying thing that's happened to me the entire season. So, I did everything right in that fight. It's just, I'm dashing in to do a normal intercept, and apparently I get intercepted instead, which should not be happening. And I swear that's been only happening in 60 frames per second because of just how the timing works with the AI in this is a little bit different. Anyway, we move on to fight Hyperion on node 17. I'm just very rattled after that, because that, again, was the most terrifying experience I've had this entire season. So I'm trying to recover a bit, and luckily this hype fight is easy enough to where I get a nice break from whatever that last nonsense thing was. But we have a 9-fight war today, so that's a lot of 60 frames per second fights that can go wrong. I probably should have turned it off, but I didn't. And we're going to just continue to see what happens. That fight was really fast, obviously. Now we're fighting Clairvoyant with Mr. Negative. Claire doesn't benefit from the nodes here, so we just kind of do this normally. I go for an evade there, and now I'm just building to that special 2, and then it's gonna kill her pretty fast after we get there, making sure to manage that heal block, and then I do that pretty well. Go for an evade there. I just kind of risked the unfazed trigger. I didn't really care. I didn't have the slow active, but it wasn't a big deal because she's just going to die right there. And then we move on to Gorr on node 35. Obviously, Chavez just rips this fight apart. I'm going to activate my Mystic power back boosts and such, because I have a Chavez fight here and then Chavez for the next fight. But anyway, starting with this Gorr, we just kind of get 2 negative zones up, and then he's going to die basically right after. We drop the SB2 in a moment after I bait his SB1 real quick. Gonna go do it after the Utopian Parallel, get a little extra attack rating on it. That's a massive crit, and then he's just dead with power backs. So, yeah, that's a very fun fight there for sure. Now we have one more Chavez fight, and it's against this Onslaught on node 39. Been taking this fight with Chavez. I think this is like the second time I've been doing it. I used to send a different champion here, but I started just taking it with myself with Chavez, and it's not that bad. But with 60 frames per second, it's a little bit different, and I'll get why into that. This was like the biggest difference between 30 and 60, I think, in this fight. And again, I'll explain why in a moment. There, I actually think I was late. Maybe not late, but I did feel that my counter was a little bit off. I didn't time it as well as I normally do. But I am trying to just keep up my negative zones if I can help it. Reverse the power gain of that power snack. That's what I was looking for. And now he's just gonna be triggering the now he's just gonna be triggering power snack a bunch, and I don't have the negative zones to reflect it. But I can just take this SP2 on block for the most part because he didn't have any narrows on me to convert to degens. Either way, I don't know. It's whatever. We go for a little bit of healing there. No crits, unfortunately, but here's where it feels a little weird. Usually when I dash... Oh, I didn't dash in. Okay, where does it feel weird? Because I know I'm going to get hit by an SP1 pretty soon, I think. Maybe I'm tripping, and I don't get hit by an SP1. Here we go. Dash in. And no, I don't. Okay, so... Was it in Battlegrounds where it happened? There was something where it's like... Normally when I go for the counter, I just dash in and immediately dash out, and then it's like I'm doing it too quick now with 60 frames per second, so I get hit by the last hit. I don't know if it happened in the warfight and I just wasn't paying attention or whatever, but I know it happened to me somewhere. But, yeah, it's a little bit of a timing adjustment that, again, I just need more practice with, and I didn't really do that. So, we move on. We have 4 fights still, including this Maw, on node, what is this, 41, with Bubble Shield and all that jazz. So, anyway, we just kind of bait Maw's special attack and then heavy counter it. As long as I have the heal block, I can't miss anyway, so the falter doesn't matter in that scenario. There I'm going for an evade. I'm gonna eat a Bubble Shield and Block Bull, which I like knew was coming, but then reacted too slowly. But it doesn't matter, because he's gonna die right here. Just gonna continue to block a bit, and then, yeah, these degens are just ripping him apart, and then he's dead right there. So, we move on to node 45 Wiccan. Normally I take this fight with Photon, with Wags and Odin. This time I do not have Wags. It doesn't really matter. She still just nukes this guy. And I'm not even ramped in this fight. I literally am just entering with only Odin and no ramp, and it's still going to go very well. Because I didn't put myself on path 9 this war, which is usually where Photon goes for me. It didn't really matter too much. As you're going to see, this guy is going to go down pretty fast. I just need to try to manage the power charges if I can help it. Countering those special attacks as often as possible. One thing I am going to definitely try intentionally doing is making sure he doesn't trigger his flame spell. Because I don't want to get that Incinerate on me, which will convert the shock from Hazard Shift into a Plasma. And the Plasma actually does hurt quite a bit, so just trying to not let that happen. Gonna go for another special counter there, and we just keep that healing in check with the Despair Mastery, which, you know, is getting eaten a little bit by Conflictor, but Photon also just has a ridiculous amount of damage to where he just goes down right there, and it's not that big a deal. Next up, we're fighting Werewolf by Night on node 47 with Photon. So we do have a little ramp going into this one. And I was expecting this fight to be pretty easy, because I've done Photon versus Werewolf a lot, and Photon is just a very good, very hard counter to node 47, and like any Mystic there is just a joke for her. So I'm going to go for the special 1 counters, but for some reason, like, I wasn't trying to block the SP1. But for some reason I just like wasn't dashing back fast enough. I don't know if it was the 60 frames per second thing or whatever. I feel like it wasn't. I just feel like I was messed up. And here, he's just glowing for some reason. When my game lagged, it's like it triggered some kind of bug. So literally I had to deal with this for the rest of the fight. I don't know what the heck is going on. It's just some bug where he's got this light particle stuck to him after that lag happened. But either way, he's dead in less than a minute, so that's cool. Photon's pretty good, guys. So, and then lastly, a little after those fights, I was waiting for my boss to get open, and then gonna reboost up. And then we have this Enchantress boss, once again, taking this with negative. And gonna heal up a little bit. Again, I've never done this fight with 60 frames per second before, so I was kind of worried, but cool thing about fighting Enchantress in 60 frames per second is you can appreciate her animations even more, and that's one thing I was kind of doing in this fight. I was like, wow, everything looks so cool. Anyway, gonna go for the intercept removal there, Gonna go for a knockdown here, baiting a heavy attack, full dex, and then heavy attack. I left myself open a bit too much to where she wanted to drop the special one, but that's okay. It's not too big a deal. Just remove the spells pretty fast and easy like normal. Need her to throw a heavy. She does get the knockdown, and I'm gonna go for an evade there. I want to build up some more light energy, and then looks like I'm gonna go with 15. I'm gonna drop the relic into the air after this special too as well, which she blocks, but I just wanted to try to anti-bait her special attack a bit more. There I messed up and misspaced, so I lost a hit on my invul, which a little scary, not really. I still have 2 more SP3s I can tank, or 2 including this one I should say. And then that SP3 animation obviously just looks really cool with 60 frames per second obviously. But yeah, now we're just trying to parry a bit, get myself to another special 2, get myself set up to nuke the fight down, ideally before she drops another special. I'm gonna try to block a bit and get myself enough power to where I can just go for the SP2. Where am I gonna evade? I evade right there, okay. I want to get myself to enough power to where I can push her red with my special 2, if I can help it at least. But we drop the SP2 there. I'm gonna throw the relic into the air. This time it does connect with her. Wouldn't really have made a difference. She would have been red anyway, which is what I wanted. And then she drops the special 3. Again, I just tank this. It's gonna be fine because of the invulnerability boost. And that is gonna be the end of the fight. So there we go, another 9-fight war, 9 soloed fights. And I am 69-0 on this season, meaning I only have 2 more wars, and then this season is over. 2 more wars clean, and then I finally get my first ever Deathless title. Extremely happy. I just need to execute. Obviously, War 11 has already happened at the time of recording this, so I'm not going to spoil how it went. You can see that in the next video, which will be probably 2 days from now or something. We did lose this war. 14 deaths put up from us. My battle group only put up 1. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. We just need to win out, and then we can get masters, I think. So yeah, 2 must-win wars coming ahead for us. Let's just hope and pray that we can actually get them done. So, thank you guys so much for watching this one. I'll see you in the next video.